How's it going, guys? Steve here again with my buddy Dan in his 6:45.
Yeah, 6:45.
It is a 6:45.
It is
going to be a 6:50 for a minute, but yeah, 6:45. It is bright orange, which is a bit interesting considering that I've only known Dan about 12 months personally, and he doesn't really like modified cars. Well, he didn't like modified cars. They were Satan. They were stupid. They were pointless. They weren't really welcome in your world, were they?
Yes and no. I will admit my taste in modifying is probably more subtle than yours. Would that be fair to say?
I would, apart from the fact that you're driving, we're in a bright orange BMW with a massive spoiler on the back of it.
Point taken.
So, how does that work?
I totally blame you. You led me astray, clearly.
No, it was never my fault. I'm going to blame Grundy. Definitely Grundy's fault.
Definitely Grundy. He's not here, he can't defend himself.
Exactly.
Definitely Grundy.
Follow this Golf. I'm just giving down a tour of Cambridgeshire. So obviously popular trends at the moment regarding modifying are generally big fat wide dishy wheels, bolt-on arches, just general ridiculousness. And that doesn't really compute with, or it didn't really compute with you. I suppose it still doesn't.
It doesn't compute. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get why you would want to put wheels on your car that A, don't fit, clearly don't fit, with tyres that are too small for the wheels, that will just make everything slower. I don't get slower.
Because people can't afford to go fast in England.
That's the thing, if they didn't spend £27,000 in their entire inheritance on a set of wheels, they could probably afford to go faster.
Yeah, okay, that's...
I don't know, I'm just a go over a show, excluding the bright orange and the wing.
Yeah, we've tainted you badly.
You really have.
Yeah. Dan was a nice simple boy. He had a simple silver salesman's rep BMW. Didn't get up to bad naughty things. Yeah, that changed.
Really did.
So before this you had the 911?
Yeah, 997 Gen 2 C2S.
Words to me.
The one that looks like a Beetle.
They're all Beetles, aren't they? I shouldn't joke, because I suppose the modifying and the cars that have come through from this way, you've sort of... We're passing. Yeah, you've sort of pushed me towards German cars and Porsche. I do kind of fancy a bit of a Cayman now.
Really should. See, I used to be just like you. I used to absolutely hate Porsche with a passion. I didn't get the brand. I thought they were snobby, you know, snottery. It all looked the same. They were. Why would anybody want a Porsche unless you're just you're one of this lot that must have a Porsche. Far. And then I drove one, and then it clicked, and it clicked very, very quickly, and it suddenly became like, oh my god, I need one of these in my life.
I need to drive a Porsche. I want to. What is it they call it? An epiphany. Is that what it is?
Yes, epiphany. Yes, epiphany. Yes.
I need the Porsche.
Can't spell it, but it's an epiphany.
I need the Porsche epiphany.
Yes, you do need a Porsche epiphany.
And that's when it will get really expensive and I really can't afford to live.
Sounds quite painful actually, doesn't it? A Porsche epiphany.
Yeah, is that a operation?
Yeah. Where would you like your epiphany stuffed, sir?
Oh god, that sounds painful. Secretly, do you feel like everyone hates you with your bright orange beam?
Pretty much. I'm pretty sure they do.
I feel like that in this stand. Whenever I go anywhere, just people scowling at me.
Ironically, I get more positive comments about the BM than I ever did about the 911.
Really?
To my face, anyway.
I think that's because a lot of people, like you sort of said, people assume people who drive Porsches are idiots and pompous. And...
I will never forget the very first time I picked the 911 up from the showroom. Really massively excited, like a kid at Christmas. Came to the main road, went to indicate, and no one would let me out at all.
Yeah.
See, Porsche people don't really do big wheels either. Maybe that's.
I don't know. I think thanks to things like RWB and stuff like that, I think that's coming.
Which ironically I've always liked.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I really like his stuff. I really do. I shouldn't. It goes against everything I stand for, but I think they just look awesome.
They do. They've got so much presence.
Yeah, they're amazing. Absolutely amazing things.
And they're not silly camber, stretch tyres, can't go fast cars. They are, I'm going to use the term engine go quickly.
Yeah.
You know, he enters them in the I think it's the Idlers series, I think it's called. So they do actually get raced and used.
They've got it right because they look like they're doing about 300 mile an hour just parked up.
They look pure race car.
Yeah,
don't they?
absolutely.
So after the Porsche, you bought this. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. This was my stopgap. I just want something to drive around in. I need a car. So I've always kind of liked the 6 Series. I know it's challenging from some angles.
The thing is, I've never really given them a second thought until sort of knowing you and seeing this, and then obviously we were researching wheels and fitments and stuff like that. And I've come across a few in the States, obviously they're always in the bloody States, which look absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was almost a car a little bit before its time, and the whole Bangle design didn't really work when it at the time. It sort of came out and everyone was a bit like, oh my god, what are you doing? That looks like mental,
Yeah.
but not good mental, just mental.
Because was this the first BMW of this sort of design, shape? Or was the 5 Series a bit before it?
No, I think this was the first.
Because this is obviously similar style to the...
I can't remember if it was this or if it was the Z4 that was the first flame surfaced Bangle jolly. But it was very, very close. If it wasn't the first, it was the second.
So yeah, it was definitely something new that people were having to get used to. I do think they look awesome, to be honest. I definitely have one now.
I really like it. I mean, I was so lucky to find one of the V8 manuals because they didn't make very many manuals.
Cannot stress that enough. If you go onto, I don't know what it's like in your countries, but if you go into Auto Trader in the UK and search manual 645, they don't come up. They do not come up. These are rare, stupid rare, and hold their price quite well because of it.
Yeah,
compared with
mostly
compared with
better than the autos.
Yeah.
I remember when I still had the 911 and I knew I had to sell it to fund a house purchase. So I was,
adult things.
Yeah, grown up stuff. No one likes grown upping.
I can't adult very well, I've got to admit.
So one of the cars I was sort of went out to test at the time was an E63 M6 with the V10, and I love that so much. The engine is just one of the all-time classic NA engines of modern times. You'll never find something like that again.
I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to be in the presence of one.
Oh my god, it's the noise is immense, but it's just the way it pulls and everything about it. It's genius. It's absolute genius, except for that horrible gearbox. They're all the SMG2, so it's flappy pedal, but it's the robotised manual box still.
So it's not like double.
Not double clutch. No, it's fine. You can get used to it. It's not, it's not horrendous. It's probably better than the equivalent auto would have been. But for me, I couldn't go from that because the 911 was PDK, so it was proper dual clutch. Yeah. Touch a pedal and it's instant.
Yeah, bit of a difference.
But I really enjoyed that. What surprised me was that I didn't find the M6 to be as big on the road as I thought it was going to feel. Compared with the 911, I thought it would feel like an absolute monster truck, and it didn't feel that much wider or that much longer.
Oh, right.
It kind of gave me the confidence to throw it around a little bit.
I suppose it's the same dimensions as this, isn't it? Or are they slightly wider?
No, it's almost identical to this.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit longer because of the front and rear bumpers, but there's nothing in it. So unfortunately, our good friends in America actually got both the M5 and the M6 with the manual gearbox.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
That's a bit of a...
That would be like the holy grail for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely holy grail in cars.
M6 V10 manual.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be something special. That would be something special. This is a famous roundabout for reasons which are undisclosed. So I don't want to go into the modifications too much in here because hopefully
we'll have nothing to do next time.
I have nothing to do next time, coming soon. So, God, it handles. It feels like that handles really well.
Not bad, is it?
For what the size of it is. That properly gripped then. And you've got, obviously this is Dan, so he's got Pilot Super Sports on it. Dan,
of course.
Dan is He is known as the tyre guru on a platform or two.
I'm not entirely convinced that's. I don't think that's used as a positive thing sometimes.
No. For the record, me and Dan hated each other when we met each other.
We really
I say met each other when we first come into contact with each other via a message board, and he was adamant that nothing was as good as a Michelin Pilot Supersport, and I said, crap, there's no need to buy it, it's pointless. And then 6 months later, we started talking a bit more and getting a bit more friendly, and not in that kind of way, but yeah, he started talking a bit more. He got me to try a set on my Japan Racing wheels out of my 350, and by God, are they the best tyres I've ever driven on. I said about it in the car check video that I'm on the Falcon 453s now. Don't compare. If anyone, if you've ever got two tyres and you've got them two lined up, just take the Michelins. Don't entertain the Falcons. They're not worth it. They are not worth it.
I think for me, there's a lot of people out there who will pick a tyre and drive on it and just go, yep, that's brilliant, I love it. Mostly because they've spent the money and they try and convince themselves, or that they don't necessarily have the experience, or in fairness, a lot of people don't have the funds to go and try all these different tyres.
No. So I fully agree with that. I mean, my history with cars, basically I lived on Toyo sort of T1S, T1Rs, that sort of cheaper performance sports stuff. So I'd always known, you know, this was on Civics and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, they handle great, there's no need to, I don't see the point in buying Pirellis or Michelins or, you know, Goodyears, for example. So I never did. And obviously the game sort of stepped up and got the 350, whether or not you want to call that a performance car or not. It made such a big difference. Well, a lot of people seem to say that 350s is not a sports car, it's, I don't know what they call it, but it's not fast enough to be
it's a sports coupe, definitely.
I mean, let's be honest here, that, sorry to take shots at you, Dan, but who was faster down a quarter mile?
Well, that's only because, yeah, you're better. Smug face, smug face mode.
Although, to be fair, that doesn't stand for anything, because apparently going by that logic, I'm faster than the Lamborghini Gallardo.
Actually, that's very true,
which isn't the case, but on that particular day, I was running 13.7s, I think was my fastest, and I think the Lambo was 14, mid-14s.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Still significantly quicker than me in this.
Yeah, but the thing is, again about that day, which was funny, was me and Grundy were very similar modified cars, and he struggled to get anything less than a 15. All day he struggled. I don't know why, whether or not my 2A diff's helping me with that, possibly. Get off the line better. And I think, bringing the tyres back into it, I was on Pilot Supersports and he was on Yoko's?
I actually don't know. He's running on his now.
Or was he on Hankook's?
I actually don't know.
He was on one of them two anyway, so he didn't have the best of tyres.
My excuse was that I still had the really skinny rear wheels on. I was on 245 at the back.
Oh, you were actually, weren't you?
I was.
And I was on 275s.
Yep. I'm on 275s now.
We need to have another run at this.
We really do.
Next year, before it gets busy again, gives me a bit of time to have a little bit of a pre-season prep. Right guys, I'm going to round this one off here. It's been great to sit with Dan and have a bit of a chat, a bit of a chin wag on the old couple of little subjects there. If you did enjoy that, I want to see more like this, please let us know. I'd love to get some feedback. Give us a comment, give us a like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye. More off putting in this massive thing in my face.